Hello, Aquarius, and welcome to Mind, Body, and Heart Tarot Therapy. First of all, Happy New Year. This is your reading for January 2020. I hope you had a great 2019, and I hope you managed to wrap it up in a way that is satisfactory to you. This is a general reading for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. If it resonates, it resonates, and if it doesn't, then it's just not your reading. Don't try to fit it in. Use your own intuition to see what messages apply to you and in what way. My readings focus mainly on the inner landscape more than to the outer stories, so suit yourself if the reading resonates with you or not. All right, my darlings, Ace of Cups, beautiful as your current energy. Well, then that's a good start of the year, Aquarius. Okay, that turned but didn't jump. Okay, so we have the Three of Cups as your challenge, though. Interesting. Let's see what else. What's the focus? That also turned but didn't quite jump. Let's see if it shows up again. Let's see, what's the focus for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs? All right, the Moon. For January 2020. This is your advice, the Knight of Cups. And yeah, let's see, where is this taking you? Yes, this one turned up the first time. And now it came out, the King of Wands as your future energy. Not bad at all, Aquarius. Now let's see what's at the bottom of the deck. Right, so the Four of Wands as your underlying energy, kind of what you're working with in this first month of the year 2020, beginning of a new decade. I think this new year, this coming year, is gonna be a little bit different. It's a lot of energy shifting, big shifts happening. And I think it will affect all of us in more or less obvious ways, but it's going to be there for us. Anyhow, let's get into your reading. Do check out astrology reports if you're interested more into to see what's the predictions from an astrological perspective. Now we're into the tarot. All right, I'm going to pull out the clarifiers for this. And see that Crowley keeps... okay, Crowley it is. All right, so... where are these cards here? Please clarify these cards. It's the Four of Wands as your underlying energy. You're building something here, Aquarius. And... I think you're building a stability of your own belief system, if that makes sense. All right, so we have the Knight of Discs with the Ace of Cups. We have the Universe with the Three of Cups as your challenge, and the Knight of Discs is with as your current energy of the Ace of Cups. We have the Ten of Pentacles, Ten of Discs, with the Moon as your focus. We have the Ten of Swords with the Knight of Cups as your advice. And we have the Tower with the King of Wands as your future energy. And we have the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups with the Four of Wands as your underlying energy. So yeah, this is actually turning more into something that's relationship related and love related. The Two of Cups in this card, as you can see, is called love. And the Four of Wands is known also to be the 1111 card, the soulmate card, twin flames, stuff like that. I don't like these terms though, because there's too much preconceptions attached to them. But I can tell you this, there's relationships are on the table for you this beginning of the year. In January, you're probably going to, and it's your season, by the way. Happy birthday, Aquarius. It's your season. You're going into your, if your sun is in Aquarius, you're going to have your birthday season. If your moon or rising is in Aquarius, you're going to have different type of experience with the energy, but it's still very closely related to you. And I think that you will definitely feel that the need to relate better with yourself and with the world outside of yourself. And I think it's happening. I mean, like, this is coming for you, right? Your underlying energy is what you're working with. And with the Four of Wands talks a lot about appreciation, being seen for who you are, being grateful for your journey so far, and really like taking time to congratulate yourself for everything that you've accomplished. And accomplished, again, is not necessarily the right word here. More like the lessons that you've learned, and looking back and seeing how some of the hard times you've been through happened for you to learn a certain lesson. And now that lesson's learned, and it doesn't feel so painful or so bitter anymore, but rather you feel grateful. It's time to look at that, and I think you're gonna get that will really help you ground yourself into your own belief system, spirituality, and into your heart space with this Two of Cups here too. And it will allow you to be able to connect more from a place of love, because the moment we are able to see ourselves how we hope others will see us, it's when we are able to show up outside of the world without the need for validation, and without the need to be seen to prove something, or to have any type of expectation of that sort. So I think it's a really, really good month for you, though, because I don't see anything terribly well. Yeah, let's get into that. Okay. The Ace of Cups with the Knight of Discs. Ace of Cups does talk about opening of the heart. It's about finding that place of unconditional love, and that's within. That's really within. And some of you have experienced this before, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. For those of you that haven't, and you're going to go through this experience, you're going to recognize it as it happening. And it may be happening for you right now or in a very near future, because it's your current energy. So as you watch this reading, whether it's the beginning of the month, the end of the month, whenever you're watching it, they tend to be actually quite timeless. But you will probably know, because you will feel that type of connectedness when your heart's really full, and when you're really able to look back and be grateful for everything that happened to you or for you. And the lessons had been learned, and you learn to ground yourself in this heart space that's been opening, and you feel peaceful and blissful, and your cup is overflowing, and it's connecting to the energy of the collective, whether it's the human collective, or all living beings collective, or the universal consciousness, all possible energies, beings, and consciousness out there. And that's really blissful. This is something that people had described can happen when taking psychedelics, when feeling really connected with everything and everyone. So I hope you're not having a psychedelic experience, but you have a more grounded and more like more natural way for you to get there, because you would know that if you reach this space of unconditional love and the feeling of belonging and connectedness with everything that is based on your own in a natural way, not depending on any type of substance, then you will be able to know that this is possible, that this is more real, and also to ground that experience. The Knight of Discs is one the most dependable of the knights. Knights talk about expansion, and it seems that you're expanding your earthly realm, you're expanding your ability to hold this space in this physical reality. You're being able to, learning to to create that deep harmony within yourself and within your relationships, because you can bring this unconditional love not just from an isolated experience or a spiritual experience that may have happened on the top of a mountain and I don't know what monastery where nobody we had a, I don't know, maybe a retreat, or I'm just talking when you're out of context. Can happen that we have these amazing experiences, but are we able to bring this home with us in this physical reality in our day-to-day life? And I think in this month, Aquarius, that's what you're learning, how to bring this home. The Knights of Discs, it's expansion, but it's one of the most dependable Knights. He's like less about enthusiasm and more about commitment, more about let's look at the big picture, more about let's see how the terrain looks like and how we're going to plan ahead and going into this expansion one step at a time. And this is what's happening, baby. Wow, that's great, Aquarius. But it may be challenging to end a cycle. The universe is really it's the end of the major arcana, right? So it's the and come on, I mean, like it's the end of a decade, it's the beginning of a new one. Seems to be challenging still for you to end the way you relate to other people. So maybe, you know, coming from this place of unconditional love now and learning how to bring this into your daily awareness, into your daily life, into every connection. We all have a past, and not all our relationships in our past are necessarily the healthiest. Maybe with our families or with our friends, the way we used to show up was enabling in a certain way of some type of very healthy dynamics. And maybe we used to show up I don't know, I carry this for you if you carry this for me. I turn a blind eye to this if you turn a blind eye to my shit. Any type of like codependent relationship, or as I said, not necessarily the healthy way. And this may be challenging because it can show up, with the Three of Cups. It talks about like happiness, joyful relationships, maybe soul family, soul tribe getting together. But okay, now this is a little bit different interpretation. It may have to do with the way you party and celebrate. Maybe, I don't know, drinking. Those of you out there that are still combating some type of drinking habits or working with them, it might show up as your challenge in a way to maybe you're used to connect with people only from this place, but it's not bad. I mean, like, as we progress on our healing journey, on our path, and especially on our spiritual path, whatever challenges come to us become an opportunity for us to heal an older wound in order to become whole and to welcome back a part of ourselves that had been in hiding into our subconscious mind because we just never had the awareness or the resources and coping mechanisms to deal with that. So whatever comes from your shadow self right now, it's a bless, because you can you have the ability, you have the knowledge, you have the tools, and you have the open heart to be able to hold a really compassionate space for that. So whatever it is, the type of challenge that comes with your relationships right now, and I think this has to do more with family and friends rather than romantic, though it might be about that too. But yeah, you may see some patterns that don't want to end, and they keep showing up. It may not be you. It may be like, okay, here I am. I'm coming from a place where my heart is full. I don't need you to enable my reality in any way. I just want to spend time with you and see who you are. But it doesn't necessarily mean that we're gonna end up, I don't know, having to drink a lot or having to spend time how we used to, whatever that was. If you're not open to maybe a different way of relating, maybe I can't keep going to do that, and we may have to start saying, to people that we know we love them, if they're not able to, I don't know, maybe adapt in a sense to who we are becoming, we may have to step away and love them from a distance. I want to pull out another card for this. Like, why is the Three of Cups of the universe your challenge? What type of relating is this that's challenging for you? The Knight of Pentacles again. One more. And the King of Cups. Yeah, I think the people around you that used to be your soul family, or your close friends, or your support group, may not be used to this new person that you're becoming. Like, starting bringing this unconditional love can be scary for other people because they're just not used to it. We were not used to it before we had our heart opening, whenever that was for you. And we can have a series of that, and we can open different compartments of our hearts we didn't even know they existed, and we learn to build more compassion for different aspects of life, of ourselves, and humanity at large. But it's a slow process. It does take time. And the King of Cups, for example, this is like what the Knight of Pentacles kind of tells me here. But also the King of Cups is somebody who's like not a victim of his emotions. He's somebody who's like full of emotions, but doesn't necessarily always need to show them, So maybe to some people you can appear a bit cold now, that you're not necessarily willing to cry with them or to enable them into their drama and to keep telling them that they are always right, or they're, I don't know, a victim, and to keep enabling that victim mentality as well. Any type of unhealthiness that shows up in relationships that you used to do and you're not doing anymore, because now you're more emotionally mature, and you're able to contain your emotions, and you're able to love without the drama, but to just go straight to beyond the conditioning and love the pure soul that you're seeing in front of you. May not be easy, eh? But your focus is your intuition here, the Moon, and the Ten of Pentacles, which is wealth. I mean, like, you have everything that you need right now in order to continue doing this. I mean, you don't need approval. You do not need any type of shields to be put up here, because your heart is open, right? You have the stability that you need, and you have your ability to connect in a healthy way, and you won't be put off by this. Yes, it's not easy. That's why it's a challenge. Challenges are supposed to be somewhat difficult, And with the moon here as a focus, is also will tell you like, okay, use the triggers, use the fears that show up for you right now as your allies, because there's information there. There's so much information coming up to you right now as you have an open heart and you're like starting to really take it step by step and ground this into your daily reality. You will see certain fears showing up. Maybe the fear of rejection, maybe fear of hurting other people that don't really know how to digest the new you. Maybe the fear that I'm gonna end up all alone if you're not showing up in the way that you used to show up before. Look at these fears, because that's where the wounds are, and that's where you can direct this beautiful, beautiful heart energy, love that is available to you right now. You have access to it. And I don't want to bring you the bad news here, but you may not always have access to it as easily as you have to it now. So do make use of this heart opening and heart space in order to heal these deep wounds, and to really thank your fears for trying to protect you, and learn to use them as allies. And to do that, well, you can take your time. Take your time and maybe have some type of meditations that allow you to befriend your fears and allow you to befriend your befriend the part of you that still feels maybe intimidated or scared or terrified of certain possible scenarios. Go and take that part of you by the hand, metaphorically, or even into a visualization if that works for you, and have the talk and have the walk, and give the love and the assurance that you are here and it's going to be okay. Take that inner child of yours and give it the love that it needs, that you're grounded now, and it's okay to be able to put your boundaries and communicate and to show more of yourself. It's perfectly fine. The 10 of Pentacles here tells me that you have the physical groundedness to be able to do this. You are present. You are connected to your all the abundance that you are capable of. You're connected to that space of like, I'm not coming here from a lack perspective, a lack mentality. I am present, I am here, I am enough. And allow your intuition to guide you. Allow your intuition to guide you. This is your focus. I'm like the moon as your focus. Also check out what's going to be the full moon coming in January. I think it's, let me remember. I don't remember, sorry. If it's, I don't think it's in Capricorn, is it? No. Just check that out. Check out what's the full moon about, and what sign is it, and what are the aspects of it, and work with that. You are very, very grounded though, so that's great. Your advice is to do not allow yourself to be intimidated by for people's first reaction to your unconditional love space, but also that space where you are your own person, you honor yourself, and you don't do stuff just for the enabling or being looking for approval, which is, as I said, can be quite disarming. So you're encouraged to keep doing this, coming up from that with that open heart, showing what's in your cup. Weird. And now I just remember when my heart first opened up like this, and I started like sharing it with the world, and most people were completely disarmed. They had no clue how to deal with that, and some people were also like feeling that they weren't special enough, because if I come with this beautiful heart space, And it feels kind of like non-attachment, is that open love that doesn't get stuck in craving and attachment, and they felt like they couldn't really hold that space or return that type of love, so they kind of pull back. Not everybody, but some, so it's very interesting, like the kind how people can react to this. But you have the strength, you have the wealth, you have the groundedness, you have the heart space to be able, and the emotional maturity to keep going like this, and to continue on your path of coming into the world from an open heart. And if the Ten of Swords, which in this case is ruin in this deck, as your advice coming with this Knight of Cups, is like, it'll allow the thought patterns. The Ten of Swords talks about the patterns in your mind, the way you used to think about certain situation, in this case people, right? And about yourself, when people maybe have certain reactions to you. Maybe before you used to think like, oh my god, this person's rejecting me, there must be something wrong with me, I'm not likable enough, or I've done something wrong, or I've said something. But now, because you're more grounded, because you're more centered in your heart space, you're not coming into the world from the place of like, fill me up, fill my cup in, because my cup is empty. You come with a full cup, and you're able to offer of your heart. You are able also to come to yourself, with yourself, from a compassionate place, and allow yourself for these thought patterns to kind of fall apart, because they don't serve you anymore. You can see them, you can address them, and you can keep drinking from this cup of love that is right at your heart space, that's overflowing, and it's so satisfying. So you have all the everything that you need to allow for these patterns to fall apart and to be ruined, and to see there's always like huge gaps in this internalized belief that we about ourselves, that we're not enough, that we're not good enough, that something is wrong with us, that we're damaged one way or another, that which can actually go into the complete opposite sometimes, and we'll try to compensate for that, and we come up with grandiose type of thinking, oh, I have never do anything wrong, I'm always right, or something like this, everyone else is wrong. However way it used to manifest for you, these type of patterns that are protective mechanisms, right? Now you see them, and now you're like, yes, I see you, I'm fine, I'm really okay, though I don't need that anymore. And they fall apart. You don't need them anymore. And I don't think this time is going to be a painful process. It can be very painful for most people, Aquarius, and it might have been painful for you in the past to allow these patterns sometimes to fall apart, because it can feel like a death of self. It can feel like a death of a part of you that used to show up in a certain way. But I think that now you're surrounded in so much compassion, and in so much self-love, and so much you're such in a flow with the universe, and with the universal consciousness, and with I don't know, when you're awake at the heart, everything makes so much sense. There's nothing that can cloud your vision anymore when you're centered at the heart. And I don't think it's going to be painful for you this time. You're going to be able to really be soothing with yourself, and be super present with this process, and maybe even bring in some humor. This Knight of Cups, well, he's romantic, he's passionate, he's an artist. He can allow for artistic expression of this, and creativity to flow out as you see these patterns falling apart. And it start sounding ridiculous. Oh my god, look how I used to show up. Oh my dear God, is this what I was looking for? Oh, now I know. I can fulfill my deepest need of being seen and feeling love from within. Therefore, I don't need to look for it outside of myself. I can go outside of myself with an open heart. I hope that makes sense to some of you. It may not make sense to all of you. All right, and the future energy of the King of Wands and Tower. See this eye here in this tower, overseeing everything, overseeing this the falling of this tower. And this is the King of Wands, right? He's powerful, he's confident, he's strong, he's willing to take risks. He's the king of the suit of wands. He's the father of beliefs. He's connected with all there is in this sense. He's very mystical and he's confident because he knows that whatever is going to happen, he's going to be okay. And that's why this tower can fall now. This tower being your amalgam of limiting beliefs that you've operated from a long time that doesn't work for you anymore. There were these protective walls around your heart that didn't allow you to connect from a heart space before. And now you can start, you've been tasting that blissful heart energy, and you are having the confidence that you're going to be okay because you know that this is within you. This is really within you. You can access it. And I'm sure that if you resonate with this reading, you'll get it. I don't need to convince you of anything here. You know what I'm talking about. If this is not your reading, then this is not your reading. That's perfectly fine. But yeah, this King of Wands and the Tower tell me that you're going to be super confident, and you will be so aware of your inner world that you are able to come on the outside into the world, the way you relate to other people, your actions, everything else, as a mountain, and like really, really strong and grounded, right? And adaptable. The salamander talks about adaptability. They are amphibians, but they also can live on the ground, on the earth, right? So, and yeah. This eye here, it's like it's a awakening, an opening. You start seeing that this whatever this tower meant for you, it is not going to serve you any longer, and you have the tower is always actually spiritual awakening. That's what it always is. It's like this the grace of divinity when we are finally seeing something that doesn't work for us anymore, that maybe you've been blind to for a long time, and it's falling apart in front of us. And if we are in this space of heart opening, and if we're in this space of the King of Wands, then we're actually looking forward for these towers. We're not terrified by it anymore because we want to seek and destroy all the blockages that we've built against love. That was paraphrasing one of Rumi's poems that I love a lot. All right, so talking about Rumi, let's see. Let's take out a Rumi oracle card. Okay, we have one already. And it says, Sacred Convergence, 11. Something's really happening for you this month, Aquarius. It might also be, it's obviously love related, but it can even be romantic love. Not only though. This is a bit dark. Okay. My goodness, this whole reading was so dark. Sorry, 11 again. 11. Okay, I'm gonna read the poem by Alana Fairchild, who's the author. And okay, you know what? I want to mention the artist because these artworks are absolutely fantastic. And his name is Rasuli. Yes, Rasuli from Southern California. Okay, never mind. Yeah, look it up if it intrigues you. Okay, so Sacred Convergence. Roaming about town, the master was holding a light, saying, I am weary of the demons and the beasts. A human is what I am longing for. The human cannot be found. We have searched. What cannot be found is what I am longing for. Although poor and needy, I will not accept small pieces of ruby. The mine of the finest rubies is what I am longing for. one hand holding a cup of wine and the other the curls of the beloved. A dance like this in the middle of the circle is what I'm longing for. Rumi. So, sacred convergence indicates a coming together of souls in alignment with a greater cause. This greater cause is both personal and impersonal. There is an aspect of joining together for common purpose, although that purpose may not be immediately obvious at a level day-to-day consciousness. That common soul purpose may be to lift each other into greater love and self-belief, to shed fear and open the heart, filling each individual soul with more holy fire for its personal passionate purpose. You'll have a sense when this process is happening. There will be a coming together for you with the like-minded souls who hail from all walks of life. And yet together, through some invisible genius, you will help each other. You may simply be dancing in the same room. Okay, like this is exactly like this card. This is your challenge though. I wonder. Okay, let's see. You may simply be dancing in the same room or singing in a group, attending a class or a workshop, or just visiting the same beach or parkland, but at that moment there will be a sense of something coherent and nourishing happening at far greater level. Okay, it's a long read. I'm just going to go straight to the guidance. Okay, so this oracle comes with a special message. Perhaps you have been thinking about shedding lower vibrational connections based in the ego world of power games, sabotage, manipulation, and fear. Okay, now that's where this comes in. Perhaps you have already begun this process or even shed so many you are fearing you may have to overburn to be left with nothing and no one. Oh wow, that's exactly what I was saying here. It may be that fear that you may end up completely alone if you put boundaries, or if you shed off these connections based in ego and manipulation. Do not fear, feisty angel of love. I love these diminutives. Your truth is prevailing. You cannot stay in a vibration of fear if you want to dwell in a vibration of love. Very nicely put. Whilst you learn to sustain that vibration within you, that's what you're doing. You're learning to sustain with this knight of disc going slowly, right? So whilst you learn to sustain that vibration within you until it cannot be rattled by any crisis or demand, you are wise to place yourself in more nourishing connections. If you want a plant to grow, why not give it the best soil and conditions in which to do so? Certainly, the plant of love can and will grow in the most inhospitable conditions, but it can be rather more joyful to grow in gentler, more nourishing conditions if possible. This oracle comes to you with guidance that the possibility for more joyful relationships and growth of love within is in your power. You can choose each day, each moment. Just make a choice. Trust yourself, your discernment, and your intuition, and choose. You do not owe anyone anything. Yes. Repeat this law of karma. You only owe love the chance to grow. So let that be your guiding principle now as you release the old, and trust that even if your garden of relationship becomes sparse for a while, you have been cutting back unhealthy plants to allow for a new life to flourish. It is only a matter of timing for the reason of new life and growth to come again. And so it shall, bringing with it sacred convergence of souls on the path of love, your soul tribe, your soul family, your new tribe of those journeying upon the path of love. Well, I couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you, Rumi and Alana Fairchild, for this. I'm really happy that, at least to me, it makes perfect sense. I hope it makes sense to you too, especially if you stayed until the end of this reading. Wow. So it's really a great month. It's really a great month. I'm loving it. If you resonated with this reading, please like, share, and subscribe. It will really help my channel grow, and it helps reach other people like you that might benefit from these messages. And yes, happy new year, happy birthday. Enjoy this coming into your space of love, and into having this really coming within your power when it comes to connections. And that's the power of love and power of vulnerability, not the power of the ego. Enjoy your transition and new year, Aquarius.